Welcome. Hello, everybody. Everybody. Alright, most I got if there's anybody trying to interfere with this reading, please block them so we can receive the messages that you brought us here to receive. Do step in and deliver your messages to we, your children. I'm going to turn this down one more time. Okay, so we're here today to complete the messages to the 144,000 and those who are inspired by us. I got the last two decks ready to bring us the revelations that God wants us to pay attention to. So let's get right into it. I do recommend you go back and watch parts 1, 2, 3, and 4 if you have not. There are very important messages in there for everyone. And this is the last part. Subject matter of this part of the message. Have you ever experienced a broken heart before? What were your symptoms? Okay, let me turn this down so I don't have to shout. So that's the subject matter. Have you ever experienced a broken heart before? And what were the symptoms? So have you? Do you remember what caused your broken heart? Well, some of them, because I'm sure we've all have had many times where our hearts were broken. So what were the symptoms? The symptoms of a broken heart: disappointment, that I can speak of anyway. I imagine different people would have different symptoms. For me, it's disappointment, sadness. I don't ever have regret, because it don't make no sense to me. Regret doesn't make any sense to me. So disappointment, sadness, not wanting to eat, not wanting to bathe, can't sleep, needing to listen to rain sounds to calm my mind, a restless mind, anger, wanting to hurt someone, wanting revenge, wanting to argue, or just tell them what you have to say. Well, not revenge, but justice. Not revenge. I used the wrong word. Justice. These are all symptoms that I've experienced that I can think of right now when my heart has been broken. Ooh, crying uncontrollably, crying till your body hurts, crying until you feel like you got superpowers. So in order to not be irresponsible with your powers, well, I've had to lay myself down on the floor. I think I've experienced that about twice or three times. Yeah. I can't think of anything else right now. Oh, symptoms. I can think of another. I get ugly. I'm not as pretty as I am when I'm in a higher vibration. Yeah, my facial structure seemed to change to one that I am not fond of. And if that sadness, if that heartbreak is prolonged, then obviously it then affects our physical body by way of illnesses, because we're not eating properly. Oh, smoking, that's another symptom. I smoke more when I've got a broken heart. Yeah, and all these symptoms, they lead to other things if our broken heart isn't put in check quickly. So you know what you have experienced, and I guess this part of the message is in an effort to get us to monitor ourselves, okay, so that we can see our emotions are good servants, but they're very poor masters. So yes, sometimes things happen that break our heart, but no, if we love ourselves, we should not allow ourselves to stay in that energy for prolonged periods of time. It's unhealthy. Okay? So we have to find a way to either let it go. If we have to pray to let it go, we let it go. Or we designate time to grieve. So instead of allowing your broken heart to consume your day, because I mean, even in your broken heart, you still have to go to work, because you don't want it to overtake you. So you still have to push through and be responsible. You still have to cook. You still have to force yourself to eat. You still have to take a shower. You still have to wash your hair. You still have to make yourself look presentable. You still have to wash your clothes, clean up your house. So what I mean by designate time to grieve is telling your sadness, look, I can't deal with you right now. I got stuff to do. And then it's like later on when everything's calm, if you want to take maybe an hour to be in that vibration and think about whatever it is that's thrown your emotions off, then you do so. And even then you put a time limit on it so that it doesn't consume you, or else it will consume you. Some people get trapped in their sadness, in their heartbreak, and can't get out. Some people never make it out. A heartbreak is nothing to play with. You don't want to look after your children. You don't want to hang out with your friends. You don't want to see anybody. You understand? Yeah, heartbreaks, they can be fatal. They can kill you. So let's check is correct like this. Okay, so this is in the reverse. Okay. So we got, do you find yourself afraid to take accountability for your actions sometimes? Okay, but it was in the reverse. So that's the question. Do you find yourself afraid to take accountability for your actions sometimes? But it was in the reverse. We should not be afraid to take accountability for our actions. It's our actions. So even sometimes when we get our heart broken, it's like analyze yourself and ask yourself, well, what role did you play in the situation? Sometimes we get involved with people that we know are bad for us, and they end up treating us badly like we knew they would, but we just couldn't help ourselves but to get involved with people who are bad for us. That's taking accountability, acknowledging that you know that you should have never been dealing with those people. That's taking accountability. If you commit a crime and you get caught, you knew that you were committing a crime. You just didn't think you were going to get caught. But admitting that, yeah, you did the crime, so now you have to do the time, that's taking accountability. And believe it or not, taking accountability is one of the first steps, if not the first step, to healing. And then instead of blaming other people for our pain and our disappointment and our rotten situation, we see the portion of the blame which belongs to us. It's like, I should have never gotten involved in that in the first place. Then you can distribute the blame fairly, justly. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people tend to put all the blame on the person who hurt them, not taking into accountability what they did to help facilitate their heartbreak. Even in our anger, we need to be honest. It's a powerful thing to be honest, even in our anger. Be like, yeah, you hurt me, but yeah, I know I did X, Y, and Z. Even the person who hurt you would have no choice but to respect you, because you see where you yourself went wrong. It's a very powerful thing. That type of behavior can actually turn enemies into friends. Yeah. That's why Bob Marley said, man to man is so unjust. Children, you don't know who to trust. Your worst enemy could be your best friend, and your best friend could be your worst enemy. That's one example of how that can actually work. Have you ever heard stories of people who met up and they had a fight, and after that fight they became the best of friends and remained friends for years? Those two people had to have been honest about the role that they played in that fight occurring in the first place. It's hard to disrespect an honest person, even when you don't like them. It's hard to harness disrespect and disdain for an honest person. A person who takes accountability is a very powerful psychological tool. At the bottom of the deck, we have, how jealous are you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest? How jealous are you on a scale of 1 to 10? And I imagine for different people and different scenarios, it's going to be a different number. What are you most jealous of? Who's that person, or what's that thing that put you on 10 when it comes to your jealousy? Or 9? Or 8? Accountability. Because jealousy can also be fatal. Jealousy can be destructive. Unchecked, unmanaged, uncontrolled jealousy leads to destruction, damage, not only to the person who is being victimized, but to the person who was harnessing the jealousy. Because whatever is done in the dark always comes to the light. So it looked like this part of the message is God kind of encouraging us to check ourselves. So we got, do you see yourself as marriage material? How so? Elaborate on your answer, whether you answered yes or no. And this doesn't only have to be a love relationship. Marriage material could also talk about partnerships, a business partner. Would you go into business with you? Would you marry you and have children with you? What kind of life would that be? If you were to meet somebody just like you and go into business with them, or go into a marriage partnership with them, what would that look like? What kind of experience? See me? I would love to meet somebody like me, to go into business with and to marry, because I like me. I am very likable. I work very hard to be likable and lovable and trustworthy, loyal, helpful, understanding, patient, kind, a success. I would love to meet somebody like me. So yes, I believe I'm marriage material. I'm great for business partnerships and I'm great for partnerships of all positive kinds. If it's negativity, I'm not the one. But if it's for positivity and for a good cause, a worthy cause, I'm the one. There is me giving my answer and elaborating. I'm very forgiving, very understanding. And I study human behavior, and I'm a praying woman. I roll with God always. So yeah, I am marriage material. I am business partnership material. Let's see what the next one is. How do I make you feel generally? How do I make you feel generally? So this is about looking at the people in your life. Each person in your close circle, how do they make you feel generally? So it's like an overall report of your rapport. How do you get along generally? Because everybody has good and bad times. But what's the average? Do you have more good vibes than bad vibes? Or more bad vibes than good vibes from the people closest to you? That is the question. How do they make you feel generally? And how do you make them feel generally? Or I should say, how do you think you make them feel generally? Accountability. So this is a self-check-in message. Becoming aware of who we truly are. Becoming aware of who the people around us are. Maybe some of the people around us, we've been minimizing their contribution to our existence. Some people are not getting the credit and the recognition that they deserve. This is a time to bring that to the forefront. And perhaps there are people in our life that we've been giving too much credit and too much acknowledgement to, and they don't even deserve it. It's time to shuffle the players in your life, put them where they belong. Support who support you. Prioritize who prioritize you. Love who love you. That's how you win. Because if you're loving somebody who is not loving you, they're only gonna try to drag you down. That's dead weight. Everything that you do to try to progress, they oppose. That's how we set ourselves up for failure, by dealing with the wrong people. Putting the wrong people up high and putting the wrong people down low. We set ourselves up for winning or failing in life based on our decisions. God is hitting kind of hard with this one today. I'm sorry. I didn't know this is what was going to come out. If you don't like what's being put out here, feel free to leave the video. Because I know that this is some heavy shit. For some people, this is very heavy. Self-reflection. People would rather look outside, mind everybody else's business, judge everybody else, and never take a look at self. Where is self going wrong? So much easier to look at other people's nonsense, other people's flaws, other people's shortcomings. It's harder to look at our own and admit. God wants us to take a moment to look at ourselves. Those of us who care. If you truly care about yourself and you truly care about humanity, if you truly care about the people closest to you, you will take time to look at yourself and make sure that you yourself are doing the right things at the right time for the right reasons. And let God take care of the rest. So this is like evaluation day. Pretend we're in school, getting called into the dean's office. Shit, one by one. or for an evaluation. Self therapy. Some of you might end up crying. It's okay. Let it out. It's a good sign if you end up crying, because that means you have remorse. You see yourself. You see the ugliness. If it jerks your tears or it jerks your emotions in any way, it's a good sign. At least you're aware of your faults. Being a good person is not automatic. It takes a lot of thought. It takes being deliberate about it. It takes knowing when to sacrifice your own happiness for that which should be a priority. That way you can go forward without having regrets. There is a time to be selfless, and there is a time to be selfish. If we apply those two at the right times, for the right reasons, we have no need to live with regrets. Becoming a master at life is not easy. So go easy on yourself. We have all sinned and fallen short of the glory, including me. It's just that I've been fortunate enough to be conscious of wrong and right from a very early age. I would go so far as to say that I was born into this lifetime knowing wrong and right. I believe in reincarnation, so that's why I'm saying that. And I believe that I made enough progress in my last lifetime to then come into this lifetime knowing certain things, being advanced in my spiritual development. I guess that's why I could reach this phase of being used as a high priestess or an oracle of God. I've been developing myself all my life to being found worthy, naturally as well. I just find myself with a natural care to do what is right. When I hurt people, I hurt myself. It's not nice. So I naturally gravitate towards not hurting people if I can help it. And if I do hurt people, I make sure that I make amends. I take accountability if I'm aware of it. If I'm not aware, then it's up to the person to make me know that I hurt them. And if I agree with them, I will apologize. If I don't agree with them, I will explain to them why I don't agree with them. Because maybe they hurt me and they don't even know that I was hurt by something that they said or did or didn't do or didn't say. Human living is very complex. Don't be so hard on yourself. Just be hard enough on yourself, because we need to keep ourselves in check. But it's not easy. It's not easy for anybody, and it takes training. It's not something that you just wake up and do. It's something that you have to consciously apply yourself to doing. And the more you do it, the more it becomes a natural part of yourself to make good and right decisions. People think that being a goody two shoes is easy. Nah. No, it's not. It is actually harder than living a life of doing whatever the fuck you want, when you want, to who you want. Only the brave choose to do what is right. Only the brave can become a goody two shoes. They use goody two shoes as a derogatory term to make you feel bad. They need to try it. Let's see them try and deny their sexual desires. You think it's easy to want to have sex with somebody and hold yourself back from doing so? Is that what you call easy? I'm supposed to be feeling disrespected at being called a goody two shoes? It means I'm a boss of myself. That's what that means. You think it's easy to see something in a shop knowing that you can just steal it and choose not to? You think it's easy to be around somebody that you can use and abuse and get what you want from them and go about your business but choose not to? You choose to suffer yourself and live without, go without, and wait until God provide a more respectable situation. You think it's easy? I wear the title goody two shoes with pride because I know how hard I work. I have been celibate since 2011, and it's not because I don't want to have sex. It's because if I'm going to have sex, I want to do it right. I want to do it with the right person, and I want to be treated properly. And I want somebody that's going to appreciate me treating them properly. And I want somebody who's not going to be fucking slinging their self here and there just because they want to. I want somebody who is sexually self-disciplined, like me. That's why. And until then, I will take care of my own sexual needs. You think it's easy to live a life of taking care of your sexual needs? You should try it. About goody two shoes. Yeah, I am. You can't do it. That makes me a master of myself. You see, you think it's easy to want to fight somebody and you refrain from fighting them because of higher reasoning? You think it's easy to have the power and the right to fight somebody and you refrain from fighting them because of higher reasoning? You don't allow yourself to be overcome by your emotions and your desires. You think it's easy? You think it's easy to walk away from somebody who deserves a slap because you have higher reasoning in your mind? You know something that's greater than retaliation. You think it's easy? You think it's easy to want to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and choose not to because you know what's going to happen if you indulge like that? And you choose not to. The food is right there. You got the money right there to buy whatever you want from the shop and you choose not to because of higher reasoning. Why aren't you buying it? Why aren't you eating it? You think it's easy? It's not easy. It's discipline. Let me calm down. There's a time to be selfish and there's a time to be selfless. Every time is the right time to do the right thing for the right reasons if you don't want to live a life of regrets. If you don't want stuff to come out in the future to embarrass you or to ruin you, you need to make sure you're doing the right things today. and yesterday. And all the yesterdays before yesterday. It's better that people lie on you to tarnish your name rather than you having committed abominable acts for real that would tarnish your own name in the future. Accountability. How the story play out, it make a big difference to whether people are just lying on your name or if you actually are guilty of whatever horrible things they're saying about you. If you are innocent, God will protect you. Nature will protect you. But if you're guilty, you did what you did for the wrong reasons, there's no protection for you. You did the crime, you have to do the time. Accountability. Let's see what else. So, do you think caring for and raising a child is easy? So now God wants us to look at how we treat our children. Do you think raising a child or caring for a child is easy? A lot of people get pregnant for the wrong reasons. Their child is a paycheck. Their child is someone to enslave. Sexually. Some people, when their children get to the age where they can do stuff, they become their slaves. The parent no longer does anything. Everything they want, they call on the children and make the children do it. While they sit around, eat, get fat, do drugs, be high. Some people have children that they have no money to care for. Some people make children and they never took the chance to understand that it's a long-term investment if you want to do it right. And every day is not going to be a happy day. A child should be seen as more than just cute. A lot of people have children because they can't wait to dress them up. What about the child's education? What about the child's moral code? Most of us raise menaces to society. What about when the child is sick? What about when the child is being bullied? What about feeding that child? What about caring for that child when you are tired as a parent? It's not easy. It takes dedication. What about knowing that your child is naughty? Yet for whatever reason you choose not to correct your child. You choose to send your child out into the world thinking that they can just do anybody anything. You send your children out into the world thinking that they're better than other people. That's your prince or your princess. They are not the prince or princess of the world. You need to realize that your prince or princess need to learn how to respect people. And it is your job as parent to teach them that, whether they like it or not. A lot of parents want to be liked by their children. And they think that by giving them whatever they want when they want, making them feel they're right when they're wrong, that child is going to grow up to love them. It never works that way. You know why? Because the world will not spoil your child. When you overfeed your child and your little son or daughter ends up being overweight, you still love them as their parent, but when they go out into the world calls them fat. The world makes fun of them. That's your prince or your princess. So you're going to love them anyway. So you think by saying yes all the time, that's going to make them love you. But what about when they go out into the world? And you know what? When they grow up and they can speak for themselves, you're not going to like what they have to say. Although you thought at that time that you were doing such a great job by giving them what they want when they want. Spoiling a child is never a good idea. You have to risk that child being angry at you once you're doing the right thing by them. You know what the world is like. It is your job to prepare that child for the world. Let that child know that they can't trust everybody, and you need to know you can't trust everybody around you with your child either. Sometimes you can't even trust the parents with their own child. So much molestation and all type of things. You think it's easy to care for and raise a child? It's not easy. And when that child grow up, that child isn't going to forget. There's going to come a time of reckoning. I went through mine. You're going to have to go through yours. So you better make sure however you're dealing with that child, give that child reason in the future to say, you know what? I didn't like when you used to that. But now as I am older, or now that I have my own children, I understand why. You have to be open to being hated by your child for a while, just to make sure that they get the right head start in life. You will not always be liked. It's impossible. There are going to be times where your child, they're angry at you because you're trying to do right by them, because you know what they have to go out into the world and face. They are our prince and princesses. The world doesn't see them the way that we see them. The world does not love them the way that we love them. Raising a child is not easy. There are good times. There are bad times. There are easy times. There are hard times. There are confusing times. There are hopeless times. One time when Malika was a baby, she had a cold and her nose was so blocked. And I didn't have one of those little suction thingies, you know, one of those things that you use to take the mucus out of the child's nose. I didn't have one of those. I didn't even know it was a thing. And if her dad wasn't there to use his mouth as the suction, I don't know what would have happened. It wouldn't have been good though. I didn't know what to do. Another time I took her to the beach and the wave nearly took her away. It's a lucky thing there was a man there to swim, go out and get her. I was helpless. Raising a child is not easy. There's a lot to learn. One time I was riding her, I was pushing her out of the train. And you know how the train is usually higher than the platform. And my dumbass pushed the stroller out front way. Lord have mercy. So now the wheels were going down between that gap. Yeah, I was not a happy mommy at that point. Raising a child is not easy. From then, I never liked stroller. Give me a harness, please, and thank you. I know what to do now with the stroller, but I still don't like them. I've been traumatized. Raising a child is not easy. Somebody had to help me pull up the stroller. It's a good thing she was strapped in. Stupid mommy. New mommy. Didn't have anybody to teach her these things. She had to learn the hard way. Forever traumatized. Raising a child is not fucking easy. I'm sure all of you have your traumatization stories. So no, caring for and raising a child is not easy. At least not all the time. People want to glamorize it. And some people just don't even try. Yeah, they just don't even try. So many children out there in the world right now are having such a hard time in their home. The place where they're supposed to feel most loved and most protected. The place where they're supposed to be bred, raised to be functional members of society. Positive, functional members of society. It's a hellhole for them. A lot of parents are so irresponsible. They leave them around anybody. They do drugs around them. They watch porn around them. People don't realize when you make a child, you commit to sacrificing some of yourself. You can't go out as much as you used to. You're not as free as much as you used to. You have included another responsibility into your life. And if you want to be a great parent, if you want to be an adequate parent, you need to sacrifice going out sometimes. You need to sacrifice buying yourself that bag, that shoes, that car. That's what you sign up for when you go and have children. It's a sacrifice that you make of yourself for someone else. They didn't ask to be here. At least I don't know how that part worked. I do wonder how the hell, how is it determined which baby comes to which parent? We need to do a deep dive into that one day. See if we can see behind the veil. Because you make the decision to get pregnant, or some people don't even make the decision to get pregnant, but they get pregnant, but you don't know who you're going to get. The truth is, when these children are born, most of us, we don't know these children. We don't know these people, these little people. I don't know about this bond that people talk about they felt with their child when the child was born. I didn't feel that way. When Malika was born, they put her in my arms, and I'm looking like her like a stranger, because she's a stranger. But I'm not a hateful person. And I know that as a parent, it is my responsibility to look after this stranger and train this stranger up to get to know the world around her as best as possible, so that she can navigate and master the world around her as best as possible, to the best of the knowledge that I had at that time of my life. But she was a stranger. This bond that people talk about feeling when you have a child, please don't believe the hype. That's not everybody's experience. I don't know if anybody actually experienced that, but the reality is, these babies, they are strangers. You could be happy for your baby, because I prayed for her. So I was happy she was here, but shit, I don't know you. It's time for us to get to know each other. And as we got to know each other, we grew love for each other more and more and more and more and more. But for one thing, you can't fuck with her because that's my responsibility. Even if we don't have that bond that people talk about, I am her carer. You don't fuck with her. You fuck with her, you fuck with me. But to say that we had that emotional gooey bond, that shit is an illusion. It's a myth in my story. It was a myth. I loved her, but I didn't know her. She got her own personality. My job was to help her to understand herself and develop the best qualities that she could find within herself. Caring for and raising a child is not easy. Let's do one more. So we got prioritize this list of people in your life. Well, prioritize the list of people in your life. I don't even need you to see that, because it has like sister, mom, and all these things. But nah, you got. I didn't put like your boss, your. Just prioritize the list of people in your life. Who is most important in your life? You need to include God on that list. We need to include God on that list. We need to include your boss on that list. We need to include the government on that list. Like, yeah. And then we got describe me. Describe the people in your life, including yourself. It's time to become aware of ourselves and our surroundings. Who are we surrounded by? What do we hold as important? Are our priorities in order? The people that we hold in high esteem, do they deserve to be up there? The people that we put at the bottom of our list of our priorities, do they deserve to be down there? It's time to check yourself, because whatever you're doing that's out of sync, that's how you're wrecking yourself. If your life is all topsy-turvy and whatnot, those questions that came up, these are the reasons why. That whole conversation gives you a big picture as to why your life is so out of whack. Or in alignment. Because some of us are getting it right. Some of us are getting it horribly wrong. Okay, and the last deck. Let's see. A whole psychoanalysis session there. Let's see. Oh, 1 hour and 9 minutes psychoanalysis for free. See, this is why Babylon don't like me. I'm putting even their psychiatrists out of fucking business. To those who deserve an apology, I'm sorry. To those of you who don't, sorry, not sorry. Okay, so the subject matter of this part of the message, the last part of the message. Okay, we got weight therapy. So, it's talking about how heavy something is. This could be our personal body. It could be our emotional body, meaning like how much pressure, how much stress we're feeling. It could talk about our effectivity, our value, weight therapy. Could be talking about all those things. Because if we were to get those things right, we would have full control over our weight. In all aspects, our emotional weight, our physical weight, and our value as a person, and how much success we have in our life. Our weight. Let's check them. Okay, so the message, we got flower therapy in the reverse. And we got music therapy in the upright. Okay, so flower therapy. Then we have music therapy in the upright. Flower therapy in the reverse. Let's take a look at the underlying. It'll make more sense. Okay. So we got weight therapy. Spend time in nature. Nature meaning being natural, being true. Not to live in that fantasy life. Not to make ourselves believe our own lies. Not to govern our life off of the lies of our own self or off of other people's lies. That's how you regulate your weight. Spend time in nature. Then we got stretch therapy. So to stretch something means to make it go beyond. So going beyond, sometimes you have to go beyond. Sometimes you have to suffer. Because imagine if your arm is this is only this long and somebody's pulling on it, it hurts. But sometimes you need to pull on yourself and whatnot to regulate your overall well-being. It's a form of healing. It's a form of strengthening your body. You understand? So spend time in nature and don't be afraid of when things are stretched to their limits. Take it there. So the flower therapy is being soft, because when you look at flowers are quite, they're lovely. That is like, it's not time to be lovely every time. It's time for you to harmonize. Music therapy. Music is all about harmony. It's about how you can put this with that and it comes as a collective that makes sense, that it has a specific goal, okay? And the goal in this case is your weight. So instead of being soft and always compliant and fucking flowery and in agreement with everything, sometimes you have to be like music therapy. Music come in all forms. So you got classical music, you got rock music, you got reggae music, you got rap music, you got soca music, you got soft music, you got hard music. So you have to know how to move and when to move that way. And like I say, sometimes you need to move that way with yourself. Sometimes you need to be hard on yourself. Sometimes you need to be soft on yourself. Sometimes you need to be hard on others. Sometimes you need to be soft on others. If you apply those at the right times, on the right people, for the right reasons, then fuck what happens. Because you're doing the right thing for the right reason. So who gets stretched, even if it's you. If they can't stand it, then it's because they're out of alignment. They shouldn't have been fucking with you. Then you wouldn't have to respond with the type of harmonies that you respond with. You see it? So that stretch therapy then leads to ugly face therapy. That's where people are screwing up their face. Like, I hate that bitch. I hate that man, I hate that woman. See, that's ugly face therapy. What the fuck? That's ugly face therapy. So the stretch, shit, if that's what it leads you to, that's what it leads them to, then that's what they deserve because you were doing the right thing for the right reason. You put the right person up. You put the right person at the bottom of your list of priorities for the right reason. You don't like it? You should have made yourself more valuable to me. If you're at the top and you don't like being at the top, then shit, take yourself away. You don't need to be up there either. I thought you liked me. So we got go for a run. And then we got pull therapy. Like, get the fuck back here. So when they get vexed, some of them, they run away. You pull them back. Like, nah, you gonna stand there, you gonna listen to me. We gonna get to the bottom of this. You gonna see yourself for who you truly are. Cause I'm gonna show you who you truly are. You treat me like shit, I don't have to treat you like you're some kind of prince or princess. Life don't work like that. I could be cold too. When I pull you back, I'm gonna be cold. I'm gonna pull you back and let you be cold. We got push therapy. So that's like a fight. It's a battle. And then we got gentle touch therapy. Yeah, like don't fuck with me. So once you've done the battle, they know not to fuck with you. Treat me right. Be gentle with me. Be respectful to me. See, they know who you are at your root. They know who you are at your core. They know who you are deep within. It's like, not because I look like I'm a flower. I'm not a bumbleclad flower all the time. Especially when you want to be prickles. Shit. I know how to be a prickle too. Yeah. So this is talking about standing up for your rights, even against yourself. Want to run away, just pull that shit back. Like, now we're going to deal with this today. You mess with me, I'm going to mess with you. Don't mess with me, and I won't mess with you. Okay? Yeah, let's make great music together. Rather than some out of sync nonsense that nobody wants to listen to. Okay? So yeah, so today's reading, the message was all about checking yourself and standing up for your right. Standing up for what is right, even against yourself. If you need to put yourself in check, put yourself in check. To make things right with the people around you, because when you're overstepping your boundaries, even if those around you don't tell you, they see you. They see you. And they don't like it. And if they don't tell you now, in the future, when they find the courage, or when things get to a point where they're no longer under your rule or whatever, they're going to let you have it. You will have to answer for your tyranny. You will have to answer for your unfairness. You will have to answer for your incompetence. You will have to answer for your lies, your pretentiousness. Maybe not now, but it will happen later. It's better to do the right things for the right reasons from now. Well, from yesterday and all your yesterdays before yesterday. So that your tomorrows will speak of your innocence. Because when people psychoanalyze the situation, they need to find you blameless. They need to find you being in the right. Even if they didn't appreciate you at the time when you were doing it. It's better to do what is right. It's gonna come back later. I heard a story one time about this child who, while being raised by his parent, his mother, I think, used to just allow him to do whatever he liked, spoil him to the max. And he went out into the world, and the world showed him, yo, you can't come out here with that nonsense. And you know what he did? He went back and took his parent out. First, he told her off, told her how much of a horrible mother she was for raising him like that. And then he finished her because what? By then he made so many mistakes based on her horrible parenting. He got a whole bunch of karma to pay. Just trying to go through life, bumping his head into the wall. Why? Because he respect nobody. Because he didn't think he had to. His mother never raised him to know that he had to. So he was being somebody that he didn't want to be, because look at the results of who he was. Nobody liked him. A lot of people wanted to get him back. And then he sat down and he thought about it for a while, and he's like, you know what? It's because of how this woman raised me. He went home and told her off. And that was the last telling off that she ever get. Because she raised him wrong, she did not prepare him for the real world. She thought she was doing him and herself, their relationship, a favor. Because he's her prince. They're your prince, they're not our prince. They're your princess, they're not our princess. Train your children upright. And train yourself upright. Or else pay for it later. Simple. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that you learned something. And I pray the best for us going forward. It's not easy. It's not easy admitting when we've been wrong. It's not easy dealing with the situation when we've been wronged either. But prayer goes a long way. God is always ready, and God can deal with all of us at the same time. God never gets overloaded. And God is too ready and God is just waiting for us to invite it into our situation, because we need professional assistance to deal with the challenges of life. Life is not easy for anybody. Nobody. It don't matter how nice they make themselves look. It don't matter how high up. It don't matter how low down they are in the hierarchy of life. Life is not easy for anybody. Everybody is getting it. All emperors and empresses and kings and queens and presidents and everybody is getting it. Dictators, everybody. Everybody just know how to put on a facade. Like, I'm the boss of my life. My life is so great and nobody talks to me like that, and I run this. Yeah, right. Shit. God says all of us need to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Okay? Because me, if it come across my table, it's because it's true. So if you don't want fuckery to come across my table about you, then you need to make sure you're not doing fuckery. That's how that works. When I pull your file, if nonsense come up, if wickedness come up, that's because that's who you are. You can't hide. You cannot hide. If you don't want that type of report to come up about you, you must not indulge in whatever you know is wrong. Because if it come up about you, chances are I'm not going to spare your reputation. God didn't send you across my table for me to spare your reputation. Do the right thing, and good things will come up. If you do the wrong thing, then that's what's going to come up. So if you know that you're going to be embarrassed, or it's going to fuck up your whole reputation, or it's going to ruin your whole empire, you need to stop now. Because y'all know that these messages be accurate. Too accurate. Scarily accurate. It's time to clean up. It's clean up time. Calm down, Chanel. See, I'm upset because y'all be doing all type of naughty things, and then when it comes out, you want to be upset with me. I didn't ask for anything to come out. Especially if you're messing with me and I decide I'm going to do a reading on you. I'm going to mess back with you. And something that you prefer to keep a secret comes out. God decided to make it come out. I didn't make it come out. God says, Chanel, I'm going to help you. Because I'm tired of seeing these people take advantage of you. They've been doing it for far too long with no repercussion. Now it's judgment time. It's time to stop. Or else they need to take whatever comes to them. It's clobbering time. Shit, fuck y'all. Do right, and you won't have anything to worry about. Do wrong, and get ready to fall all the way down to the ground. Okay? Okay. Ta-ta.